What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Brian's Custom Auto YouTube channel. We are continuing on test fitting things. And the reason we're doing this is because you run into problems. We're trying to get this bumper test fit on here, and I've got the bracket completely off, laying on the table in there for this end. And the reason being is because it's an aftermarket bumper. You see how it's at an angle right there? Now granted, none of it's tight at all. Like, the whole bumper moves. But it's because I'm trying to get it straight. It's got to fit in there just right, so that way this centerpiece here fits in there straight too. But yeah, aftermarket stuff, guys. You have to test fit everything. So we have to build this truck, then take it apart to paint it, and then build it again. But that's why we test fit stuff. We went to this bumper, well, he went to this bumper because all it has is tag bracket holes in the center, and that's it. The bumper that came off of this truck had all the lines that went across it, okay? So we definitely don't want that. So yeah, the quality is not that great. So yeah, I don't know if maybe I'm gonna have to do some bending on it and some polishing or something. I don't know. Like, it's like that on both sides though, guys. I mean, it's not all dented up or nothing, but it's just, look, same on this side. That's where they just lobbed it off. I mean, we'll be able to make it, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to make it super shiny, but I don't know. Hey, we all think about fender exit headers on this thing. Come out right over the top of the tires, come down and pop out right there. Nah, I'm just playing. No, that's gonna be a street truck, street driver. Anyway, so yeah. I don't know, I gotta figure this one out. I mean, I don't know. But this is why we test fit, guys. This is the exact reason we do it. The headlights had to be modified, which that's all well and good. But now we're having to modify the bumper. I might have to do a little bendage on the bumper. I'm not real sure. But anyway, all right. Well, let's get after it. Good morning. We're back. It's the next morning, and we're still working on this. Now, we got the bumper on yesterday, guys. Right there. Now, granted, it's not clean. Now, we have to order the filler panel for here. I'm trying to remember back. There was a reason. I think this one was all dry rotted and cracked up and broke. So we'll need to get one of those. And then also, we had a package show up yesterday. So it kind of works out that the truck's up on the lift like that. The package that showed up yesterday is that big old box right there. And it's all the suspension shocks. Because, I mean, guys, the rest of the stuff on the inside, like the upper A-arms, were keeping all that factory. And all the bushings were just replaced before he brought the truck here. So there's no reason to go in there messing with any of that. Okay? But we are going to put the new shocks in front and rear. Not a hard job at all. Not a hard job at all. We've got some other things to do as well. We still have to put the rear bumper on and test fit it back on. Yeah, so it's just a process, guys. Just keep moving right on along, getting stuff done. Dear God, how can it possibly take several hours to get one shock out? Because you have to take the whole daggone thing apart, when somebody who changed coil springs in front of us before didn't line them up right. Yes, if you look right there, there's a cup. The spring is supposed to set in that cup. When you don't put it in the cup right, and I understand it's hard to do sometimes, but when you don't put it in the cup right, what happens is it kicks over here where that shiny part is, and the coil spring rides right here. Well, this hole is perfectly fitted for the shock to come in and out. So we legitimately had to take the entire suspension apart on this. I guess I opened my mouth too soon. but I had to take the entire suspension apart on this side just to get the shock out. It's now down there. But anyway, so now we will get the spring put back in and then get the shock back in. Yeah. Which you can see I've got the jack up here. Got a spring compression kit right here that works oh so perfect. Got another one over here. That one works oh so perfect for everything but this. So yeah, anyway, all right, we'll get back at it here in just a minute. I'm tired of catching my head on the corner of this bumper. It hurts. So I'm gonna go eat some lunch. I'll be back in a minute. All right, guys, we're back. It's the next day. Today is September 11th. Not only is it a very memorable day here in the U.S. because of the World Trade Centers, but as of yesterday, you all know that Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And I don't know how to feel about that. I obviously very upset. I was a big time Charlie Kirk fan. I love what Charlie Kirk stood for, and I loved watching his debates. He could work a crowd better than anybody, right? And I was just listening to Ben Shapiro, and he's talking about him too. And you know, I'm not going to drag this whole video down with it. Okay, we still have to continue pushing and continue working. And no, I didn't know Charlie Kirk personally, but I follow Charlie Kirk just because I liked his values and his views. And it's just sad. It is absolutely sad that we live in a country now that you get shot for talking. It's astonishing. So anyway, continue to pray for his family, guys, and continue to pray for our country, because we need it. We need it big time. Anyway, moving on. So we finally got the coil spring out. This is crazy. All this just to put one shock in. The shock is down on the ground. All right, guys, so when you have a truck on a lift like this and you're trying to get that coil spring back in and it will not cooperate with you because there's no engine in the truck, you got to strap it down. So that's what we did. We put the big strap on it, strapped the frame of the truck down to the edge of the lift, put the jack under it, and now we got her back in there. So now we're going to tighten up the upper and lower ball joint and then slip the shock in and then move on. So, but that's the answer to it. Now, I should have done this yesterday, which would have helped a lot, but yeah. But without having that strap on there, it kept trying to push it off of this, which, yeah. So anyway, so that's where we're at. We had to strap it down to the lift to be able to put that in there. But you know what? It works really good. And I mean, it ain't even got that much tension on the strap. It has a good bit of tension, but not enough that I'm worried about it popping on me. And like I say, now that the nuts are back on, we can tighten those down and then let it go. So yeah, let's do that. Let's get after it. All right, here we are under the back. New one right here is the 2 bolts in the top like that. And then we'll just slide that forward like that. And when we cut that strap right there, it'll push itself in, just run the bolt through. Very, very, very simple. And then we move over to this side and do the same thing. And we got an answer for all that stuff right there, but I'm not going to tell you what it is just yet. But I bet you can guess. I got an email the other day. I'll tell you who it was from a little bit later on in the video. In the meantime, just hang tight, guys. We're going to get this bolt shoved in. All right. We got all 4 shocks back on. Got the truck set back down. Now we're going to move on to pre-fitting the corner markers. Okay. These lights are on the way. They are in transit right now. And got to make the corner markers. And I am going to make a custom Chevrolet logo for the front, for the grill. I just got to figure out how I'm going to do that. I hadn't completely planned it out just yet. Also, we have to order the filler panel for here. Okay? And then that will take care of the front of the truck, pre-fitting everything. Then we'll have to move to the back to pre-fit the lights. So let's get these corner markers put in, see what they look like, and go from there. All right. There we go. Yep, we're ready to go. All right, guys, so I've got the battery out here. I've got my test light out here. It's hooked up, ready to go. And this, I'll show you in just a minute, has just a little bitty LED plug. Now, the directions on these particular lights say that you have to pull the original bulb out of the socket, which is going to be a job anyway, because this didn't take the 1157s. It took the, 2302s, I think. Anyway, and so you're supposed to take the original bulb out of the socket and just plug this guy into it, and it runs both of them. So you've got a negative and a positive, and that's all there is. And I've got the battery hooked up right there. So let's see here. There's the negative. And keep in mind, guys, these are running lights, not turn signals. So let's see what happens. 3, 2, 1. Oh boy, those look good. I bet I can wire them in to be blinkers if that's what he wanted. Those are nice. Those are awesome. And while we're here doing this, which I'll show you how I had to modify the grill to get these even to sit in there. Now, I've got to do more on the back as well. But let me come around this way here and get to this. Well, we'll have to figure that out once I get back to the wiring. I'll run the headlights and all that. Those are supposed to be direct plug-in to the headlight wires, which I've got all that pulled out of the truck right now anyway, which might be why they're not coming on, because I'm not getting but a 3 amp pull in this. But anyway, so that shows the marker lights. Now, we'll go ahead and put that back like that and hang it over here. And I'll just pull this set out and show you what I meant by modifying. So everybody knows these have to go into the grill, okay? And that's where I have to show you the modifying on that. But if you look at the mounting studs, there's no threads on it. So I'm gonna have to get some push locks to go on there to hold it into the grill. They are labeled left hand and right hand, okay? So that way you can't mess them up. And for those of you who don't know, you check your left and your right from sitting in the driver's seat, okay? Not looking at the truck. Left and right is from the driver's seat, always. Now, that being said, let's set these back in here, and I'll show you what I had to modify. So on the bottom here, we just had that hole. Well, the wiring comes out just above that, so we had to open that up a little bit, right? Super simple. But on the top one, there was no hole for the wire to go through, because in the original grill, the top one is not a light. It is a reflector. So you get your step down bit, the small step down bit, go all the way to the max setting, max height in there, and you can run all the way through with that, and it'll set right in like it's supposed to. That's all there is to it. And like I say, I got to get the push locks for that, and then that sets in there just like so, and that'll go into this one just like so. Yeah, just like so. Yeah, it only goes one way. Okay, so I might have to open these up just a little bit more on the bottom because it does not fit perfectly right. Yeah, that bag's still poking out. Yeah, we'll have to open the mounting holes up just a little bit to turn that some, but it works. Top one fits in perfect. So drill the center hole, top mounts in perfect. Bottom one, not so much. But we can fix that, no biggie. So, I'm not stressing that a bit. There's the marker lights. Now, I'll get the other side set, and then we'll take those back out, put them back in the box, and go put them up. Because we're not going to leave them in. As I said, this is only test fitted. Oh! Shoo! But, guys, as far as talking about tools, you can go to Harbor Freight and buy this PowerPoint here with your negative. You got a positive output, negative output right there. You can check your positive, negative with the battery. If you gotta try and turn something on like a light and you hook up to a battery, this is your negative. Hook it to the negative side and PowerPoint it. You can get these at Harbor Freight for, I think they're $79 for this big old kit. $59 for a cheaper kit, okay? Same 3-amp deal. Same color and everything. This one does not have a beeper on it. The one at Harbor Freight does. Okay? You can go on Amazon and look up an auto probe, which is what this is. And it's Aermotor, A-E-R-M-O-T-O-R. You can get the same one for $14. Okay? I always advocate saving money. Why would you spend more for a beeper? $14 for this one versus $69 at Harbor Freight, or maybe they're more than that now, for the same thing. You're paying that much difference. What, $45 more for a beep? Beep, beep, beep. No. Get yours off Amazon. I would leave a link in the description, but I ain't getting paid by them. I'm just trying to save you money. My guys that have been here for a long time know I'm all about saving money. My goal in life is to make money, not spend all of it. Case in point, K-Tool 4-post lift. I love this thing. With the roller bridge, $4,000. A bin pack, same, 8,500 pound, is almost 10,000 for just the lift. So anyway, so let me show you this other side. So what I was saying about having to drill the holes, this side here I hadn't put lights in yet, but where light comes out on the bottom one, I wonder, no, I didn't put them in upside down, did I? I have to look into that, because the one on the top fit in good, the bottom didn't, so maybe it, anyway. But you have to trim this right here, okay? And then this one up here, you see, does not have a hole, so how you gonna get a wire through it? So you pop you a little hole in there with your little step down bit. That's all you gotta do. And then, of course, we figure out the holds for the back of that, because like I say, there's no stupid threads on those posts, so we have to get some push locks for it. But anyway, and then beautiful, beautiful, beautiful headlights that I have to figure out. When I showed the guy the picture of his grill, he said, well, I see they fit in there, you had to overlap them, but they're not really overlapped. The flat part of the lens here is even with the flat part of the lens here, so it's just you have that overstep. That is no different than factory, just so you know. On these 89 Silverados that had the 4 headlights, yeah. Now he did order these headlights for a Silverado, right? but make sure you get the right year. The reason I had to modify these is because these are for an 83 to an 85. So it's the square body style. So these are meant to set one here, not side by side like this. There is a size difference in them. It's not much, but there is a size difference in them. So there's your new news on that. Okay, these ones, the reason they didn't fit perfect is because they were for the square body. One up top, one on bottom. Okay. Now, that being said, I think they turned out awesome. And he loves them too. I sent him the picture of the grill and he's like, holy crap, that's beautiful. And there it is with the bumper on it too, guys. And the blacked out markers. And I think we're getting the fogged out lower, so it'll look about like that anyway. Not bad, huh? All right, let's keep working on. Amazon dropped the package off while I was gone, picking the little girl up from school. Or I guess, no, this wasn't Amazon, this was UPS. I know what it is, guys, because I know who it's from. You can't see that, but I can. New knife to open new packages. Of course, they put a package inside of a package. Why wouldn't they? Cool. Oh, we'll set that stuff to the side. J.C. Whitney. I hadn't seen that name in a long, long time. All right. All right. So, this is the brand new clear corner marker lights, or turn signals. I really need another hand or a camera guy, but no, that'd be too hard to have somebody who could hold a camera for me. There it is. All right. So now, granted, I don't have any lugs in there yet, but booyah! There it is. Oh my goodness, that's going to be so nice. Cool deal, guys. Cool deal. Thing's starting to look like a truck, ain't it? So, I love when packages come. Anyway, all right, I'm going to put that back in the box, pull all this back out, and put it back in its packages. I got to preset that side so it's ready to go, and move on. All right, guys, figured out the wiring on this. Let me see. I'm going to try and see it. Yeah. I need a couple. Actually, let me put you on the tripod. Now, this whole purpose was just to, you know, trial fitting kind of deal. So I need to put this to here, like that. And then PowerPoint. Y'all ready? Look at there. Tell me that don't look awesome. That looks really, really, really good. Yeah. And just for the record, if you want to know if all the lights work, they do. Daggone. Seeing dots. Anyway. Alright. Alright, guys, so we're back here on the back side here. And we was going to put the new bumper on, which is right there. But unfortunately, its internal bracket to mount that goes on the outside on each side of these is too narrow, and it comes with these brand new brackets. I want you to look at how good and thick that is versus factory. But you have to change them. Unfortunately, you don't have a choice, because that bumper will not fit onto those brackets right. So yeah, we got to change it. Woohoo, goo 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 choo. So let's snatch the bolts out. You got one bolt here, one here, plus the ground strap, and yeah. And then we'll put the new bracket in, and then put the new bolt in. I don't know, I don't know. Might as well just change it, right? Let's do it. All right, so I got the bumper setting on the brackets, but yeah, we're gonna raise this thing up so I can get up under there, because we gotta do a little bit of spacing on the new brackets. So hi-ho, into the air we go. I love my lift, yes I do. Hi-ho, 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 hi-ho. Yeah, it's not fast, but you know what? Who cares? I'll take it. That should be high enough. Yep, on the locks. All right. So step up under here. Under here. All right, now I've got everything loose. All right. And let me see. So the front bolts are pulled tight-ish, like that. So the front bolts are sitting kind of canted just a little bit, and I need to line the brackets up so that way they bolt in, and figure out how much spacing I have to do between the two. So, and then we got the outer bracket that has to go from there up to, yeah. So anyway, let's figure it out. So as we continue on working on the OBS Chevy here, have to look at some other things that happened in the process of mounting the bed to the truck. I did this by myself mostly in the winter, and a couple things might have gotten a little hit on a tire. Like right here. Now it looks a whole lot worse on camera than it really is, but this edge here has to go up some, see. But there's a little tear under there that I just noticed. But we gotta straighten that up a little bit. And we gotta straighten this back here up a hair, mainly in this curvature here. All right. This side over here went pretty good. If I remember correctly, the reason it did was because, this side went in kind of at an angle. But I've got some alignment issues with the bed for some reason. The whole front of the bed's up in the air a touch, so yeah, that ain't right. We gotta fix that. It's the same on both sides, so I'll figure that out. And yeah, go from there. So let's get doing some hammering and dollying and fixing some stuff. And I'll bring you guys back in just a few minutes. All right, as you can see, we got that body line looking a whole lot better. We got that fit a whole lot better. I still got a little warping I've got to do there, but the closer you come, the better it looks. Now, if you go down this side here, I did a little more work right here under this body line here. I got light up, got the bottom of that pretty straight. We're gonna skim the whole thing, make it look good. Got that part straight, and yeah, that takes care of this. Oh, notice the bed lines all lining up now. Okay, we figured all that out too. Anyway, so everything's lining up and it's starting to look really good. And guys, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, having this lift makes all the difference in the world. Meaning, I'm able to see the body lines on this bed a lot better than I could when it was on the jack stands in the floor in there. So I've got a couple spots here that's got to be still touched up, which is what I'm doing right now. We got to come back and put a good sealer on here anyway. which I've already got it. It's inside. So we're going to go ahead and straighten this all up, do all the body work we can out here under this guy here, because it's so much nicer outside. And yeah, we'll go from there. So let me get into mixing and spreading a little bit of mud on this, and then we'll move to the other side and take care of that little ding over there. All right? Hang tight. We're back at it. I put this on before I left to go get her from school. Matter of fact, I got that section a little thick there, but it's all right. It's all right. And then I smeared a little bit over on this side here, and of course I put my marker around that because that's an area I have to go back and hit some more on. But we're going to go ahead and pull out the sander and get some of this stuff knocked down. See, I've got to skim all that. So all this is stuff you can't see inside, guys. That's why I was so happy to get the lift and have this out here to where I can see. Because the biggest part of bodywork is being able to see what you're doing. Now, that being said, if you go back to the old videos, you'll see that I got a bunch done. A bunch done. This bed was beat up pretty good, but yet doing all this was still financially better than trying to buy a new bed, because a truck bed for this truck around here is ridiculously expensive. I don't know why either. And there's that new back bumper sitting on there nice and pretty, which no worries, it's getting ready to come back off. It's all pre-fitted and ready to go. Got the bed bolted down, and yeah, so I'm gonna get the sander out, go ahead and mess up my sinuses the rest of the way, and start working on this stuff. So I'll bring you back. Guys, so it's Saturday. Me and little Missy here decided to ride the Harley down to downtown Elizabeth, and we're gonna go to the next block over and go check out this car show. So I'll show you more once we get there. But in the meantime, let me show you something else that's really cool. This little dude. It's a Sears moped. That's really cool. All right, let's go see what we see. All right, so there's a few cars out here. Got a Camaro right here, Chevy 3100 Model T, Maverick, a square booty shooter right there. That's 69. I think that's a 70 or 71. Then you got the Ford, the Camaro. Come on. Got a Corvair convertible. Dangerous at any speed except sitting still, right? That's what they say anyway. So it's not every day you go to a car show, especially in a small town like this, and find this. But this is like the coolest car here. I don't care what anybody says. Friggin' F1 car. Absolutely awesome. And I talked with the owner here just a little bit. We're going to talk with him a little bit more here in just a second. But go check him out on his Instagram and TikTok and all that. It's just a 4-cylinder. Yeah, it's just a rocket of a 4-cylinder. So let's go talk with him. All right, so this is Jacob. Tell me a little bit about your car, man.
It is originally a actual 90s Formula 1 car. It raced in Formula 4. It was built in 1999 and raced professionally until 2005. Then it was sold as an instructor's car, and then I bought it off of that company and built it into a street legal build.
That is awesome. What kind of speeds have you seen with it yet? Do you know?
In first gear, I was doing 75, 80.
Oh, that's all?
3,000 RPM.
So all the local speed limits.
Yeah, pretty well.
So
on track.
It handles pretty good, I would assume.
Very well. Very well.
And you was telling me a little while ago about it's built with how many different types of manufactured parts?
Probably 6 or 7 different ones.
That is awesome. That is too cool, guys.
Between Porsche, Mercedes, let's see, Allison Chambers, Ford, BMW.
That is too cool. Too cool. So what's the future plans with it at this point?
Take it different shows, take it around, just drive it around where it is street legal. We can take it just about anywhere. If it's any farther, you know, like 81 or anything, we might just trailer it.
You gonna take it on the Snake?
Thought about it. It does have the turning radius of a yacht until you're in speed, because where they're supposed to have downforce.
Right, right. Didn't think about that.
Yeah, so I mean, we're still tinkering with it and seeing what all we can do, figure out what roads we can go with it, you know, how to take it which way. Yeah.
Awesome.
Sort of learning the car too, because you know it's not really meant for the street. But,
right.
So it is a learning curve compared to any other car.
So I assume with all the stuff you've got going on with this car, you're going to be posting it to all your channels and such.
Correct.
All right. Do you have any other channels that you want to put out there besides your Instagram and TikTok?
Not at the very moment.
Just a second. Some people are being noisy.
Yeah, because it is going to a Porsche Club of America event next weekend, and then it's going to 2 other shows next weekend. One of them, 2 other car shows.
Oh, that's right, because you're tied in with the Porsche groups
Correct.
locally. Okay. Okay, yeah.
Where I was Porsche certified.
Okay, awesome. Well, good. That gives me somebody who I know to come talk to when I need parts for the one we might be buying here soon.
There you go.
I haven't told y'all about that. So, but that's the Nemesis F1 car for you. Is that a tail light?
Yes.
That is too cool.
All of the tail lights and everything are in here. Brake lights, turn signals, and everything are down there.
That is too cool.
Has full working headlights, high beam, low beam, turn signals.
Now, I have to ask, just because it caught my attention, but are those GSXR mirrors?
No, they're actually ATV Polaris.
Fair enough. Fair
So
enough.
that way they don't move within vibration.
Awesome. Again, guys, it's Jacob Hill, or Jacob_Hill 1981 on Instagram. Feel free to go check him out. Tell him I sent you. Tell him where you came from. And guys, follow this car because it is too cool not to. Okay? All right, guys. So the car show really didn't pan out to be a whole lot. We did spend our time talking with Jacob. I've known Jacob for a while. He's got a really awesome little Porsche that he drives around. I think it's a 918, I believe. I'm not real sure. I'm not a Porsche savvy guy. But we talked with him for a little bit and looked at a few of the other cars. And then me and Little Bit hopped back on the Harley and got out of there before it got too crazy. But that's our local car show, guys. They're taking this coming weekend off, and then the weekend following, they're going to be back downtown on Elk Avenue. So for anybody who's local, please get down there and support the local car shows, guys. We would really like to have the car shows stay on Elk Avenue, but there was a bunch of businesses that had problems with that, complaining, and I kind of understood one half of it in one aspect, you know, and then in the other aspect I was like, but it's just a car show and it don't happen till anyway, that don't much matter. Anyway, make sure you go check out Jacob though. Check out the Carter County Car Club on Facebook. I don't know where else they have pages at, but you can see a ton of the cars that are at that car show there. Might even see the blue truck of mine in 1 or 2 pictures, just saying. But yeah, go check out Carter County Car Club and see what they got going on. They'll tell you where the car shows are going to be. They're the ones that host that car show. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't have anything else on the OBS right this second to share with you guys because I have to fix the stereo system in the Trailblazer because Google stereo. So I've got to fix one of the RCA outlet deals. So I'm going to jump on that. Plus it's Sunday evening, guys. We've been in church all day. Had a really great service this morning. We said a prayer for Charlie Kirk and his family. And just praying toward the future, guys. Praying toward the future. Like I said, on this channel, we are Christians. And if you're not and you don't want to hear from Christians, feel free to log off at any time. But we'd rather you stay. And guys, I'm planning on working toward more to share with you all, to try and share the gospel with you guys. I'm not going to be a full religious channel by any means, but we're at the end times, guys. And people's been saying that for years, but we really are at it. Now, I'm going to spend my days trying to build some really cool cars, so that way when Jesus comes back and calls us home, at least the cars I've worked on will be looking good heading to heaven. I hope anyway. That would be awesome, wouldn't it? Anyway, that's going to do it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you do me a favor. You comment, like, and subscribe. Come check me out on all the other social platforms too. And I still have the Mercury. So if anybody's interested in it, hit me up. at bellbryan175 at gmail.com. Okay? That's going to do it for this, guys. We'll catch you next week.